Hello and welcome to a Monster Hunter World video. In this video I'm going to be featuring a capture mission for Odogaron. Uh, Odogaron is actually a very cool monster that you actually find in the Rotten Vale. Um, I think he is the apex predator of the Rotten Vale, or the apex monster. Um, I assume that he is, because he is a lot deeper in the Rotten Vale than any other creature. You progress to him by simply doing the quests and stuff, and eventually you go to him where you actually have to fight him. And he, aside from looking really badass, he's also pretty powerful as well. He is, I guess you can say, a mixture between, well, he is definitely fast, and his attacks are definitely powerful. But what's really powerful about him is the bleeding effect that he causes. And yeah, that's nothing to sneeze at. I've been caught off guard by that many times. But I actually was able to deal with it, thankfully. So, going into the mission. Now, when I'm going into the mission, this particular is a optional mission that you actually get from as soon as you complete the quest line. Well, once you meet him the first time in the assignment missions, the main quest lines, after that you essentially acquire an optional mission by talking to some of the people, and they want you to capture him. And this mission right now is the best way to actually farm him until you acquire investigation. In fact, it gives a lot of rewards as well, as well a lot of those monster bone plus. So I'm really happy about that. And yeah, you have to capture him. Now, capturing can be definitely very tricky than slaying missions because you have to you cannot kill the creature because it'll be an automatic fail, and yeah, that can be very tricky because every creature has its own way of essentially being classified as, tired out. So you have to wait until the creature is limping before you can actually capture them. Although I haven't really noticed Odogaron being able to limp, the way I actually decided that the way I was like paying attention to him being weakened is by essentially the amount of phases that we were having and his behavior. Um, after a few times that he actually like passively left the fight, I decided that okay, maybe that's the time or something. Until then, you just pummel him. Now, the way to attack him, you definitely don't want to. I don't know about melee attacks. I don't really recommend them because he is really fast. Um, like he moves really fast. Now, I guess maybe the double blades could be handy, but I decided that I would use the light bowgun. I've pretty much in most of my videos I really use the light bowgun because it's actually really effective to use. Um, Now, Odogaron's weakness is actually fire. Not fire. Stun. He has ice weakness. Not stun. What am I saying? Um, Odogaron's weakness, elemental weakness is ice, and his element weakness is paralysis. So, um, if you get your Palico, let's see, what is it? I think it's the Ladybug weapon. That'll actually deal a decent amount of paralysis status effect, so that could definitely be handy if you want to paralyze him every now and then. And you can either choose. I've defeated Odogaron with two specific weapons that I found to be very okay. The one is the light bowgun that I'm using right now. Uh, what light bowgun? That's really up to you. I found that the Thunder Blitz is actually very comfortable. I guess you just get used to it. Um, the way I use the light bowgun is I use the slicing ammo to get rid of its tail, which actually comes handy. That's also its own special carve as well. So as soon as he leaves, then I just carve the tail, and that's an extra part right there. And after that, he takes the most damage on his head and on his claws. Now I don't know if you destroy his claws or something, does it weaken his attacks? I mean, I'm hoping it does. But I have noticed that dealing damage to those, it's a lot more It's the way to make the most damage. Now, piercing ammo works. Well, pretty much any ammo will actually work. It's just that I most of the time I use either spread ammo for it, like up close in its face, the pierce ammo, which is the basic ammo that I use. I use some ammo every now and then whenever I get the chance, um, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, when with the light bowgun, what I really use a lot, which really helps, is the Wyvern Blast. That's the special ability that you can use with the circle button, which basically places kind of like a trap on the ground, which you can either shoot to make it explode, or if the monster attacks it, it'll explode as well. And well, that exactly that. And every time that he would attack me, I would actually lead him towards the Wyvern Blast. And when he attacks, he blasts it. Every now and then, he might actually break a part of him, or might even sometimes it even interrupts his attack, which has saved my life as well. So yeah, make use of that and use it all the time, like every single as soon as you get the chance, like use it. Don't just have it sit in there. Just use it all over and over because it regenerates. It has a cooldown and regenerates. So use it or lose it. I recommend just using it as much as possible. And yeah, as far as the Palica goes, now currently I gave him the Chordal conch shell, which gives me a variety of buffs and stuff, which is actually pretty useful. And that's basically what I was using right now to buff myself while I actually pummel him with my with the light bowgun. I have also been able to defeat Odogaron with the bow, and well, specifically the ice bow, which was made by Legiana's parts, who is the apex predator from the Coral Highlands. And I have to admit, I think it took a lot longer with the bow gun. It's not really as powerful, but it does deal some damage. What I do like about the bow is the flexibility. Although sometimes you can be stuck in certain animations and not do exactly what you want it to do, but what you do. And I guess I really like the light bowgun as well. It's actually pretty cool. Now, when it comes to Odogaron, I guess in this particular fight right here, when he's actually weakened, when you've actually knocked him down to the ground, some of these little guys will actually attack him and paralyze him, as he is weak to paralysis. That's your chance to essentially deal as much damage as possible. Either go in with either attack him with pierce ammo, or go into his face and shoot spread ammo. That also works as well. And yeah, just keep pummeling him until he's weak. Now, every single sign that a monster is actually weak usually is when they go to their nest and go to sleep. So you might want to pay attention to that. Don't attack too ecstatically. If you trust that you might actually be doing a very decent amount of damage, be very careful, as you don't want to kill them, because there's an instant fail when it is a capture. And usually the best way to wait for the creature is just to wait until it goes to bed, until it retreats to its nest and then sleeps. And that's when you basically capture him. Now with Odogaron, there are certain phases that he goes, as well as certain locations that he basically goes to every now and then. And I guess he was very weak. That's at this point. When he reaches the level that I'm about to go to right now, he actually weakens a lot, and dealing a little more damage will actually weaken him even further. Just wait until he you have to tire him out. Wait until he stops attacking, when he rampages all over the place, and then you deal the damage. And once you've dealt enough damage, at this part, then you can essentially capture him. And that's pretty much how I chose to capture him. And it worked. And yeah, once you've actually successfully captured Odogaron in this mission, you get a lot of stuff as well. And I found that this is the best way to actually capture him. Now, armor-wise, I was using Rathalos' armor, just to get that as much high armor as possible. As also a few parts from his armor. This is what I was still farming for him which is why I'm, just I have like a hybrid of armors. Otherwise, I would have his full set of armor. Because this is something that I have noticed is, yeah, at this stage, early on, you want to use the armor of the monster you're trying to kill. That's how, to effectively kill them. Um, yeah, and yeah, I would definitely use Odogaron. I just wanted Rathalos' armor because, first off, I kind of had an idea, because I kind of knew that he would be the apex of the round veil, and I wanted as much defense as possible, and he still deals quite a lot of damage. Also, I built the helmet first, I believe, because it's the one that causes the bleed resistance, which helps a lot with Odogaron. I mean, all you have to do is avoid his claws. So as long as you pay attention to his claws and don't get hit by them, you really have to not get hit. Now, bleeding will not actually take effect immediately, but I don't really recommend risking it. So avoid taking hits from his hands at all times. And yeah, now once I guess at this phases, once he has like left a couple of times, then you can pretty much have a decent idea as to how much a part of his life. Like the first time the monster chooses to leave, I'm guessing he lost at least 25% of his health, and so forth. And this depends on how much damage you're dealing at a time. And yeah, once you've dealt enough damage, I guess for most monsters, you watch until they leap, um, or you can just wait until they go to sleep, where you can actually just go there and then just place the trap. Now, if they're sleeping, you can just place the trap and then just pummel the smoke to put them to sleep. If they're not there, then I guess you just gonna have to calculate in your head how if they're close there and take a risk. I recommend taking more than just two traps, more than just the one trap, just having a spare just in case, and also stocking up on those trank bombs just to have as many as possible, so that when you do when he does go to sleep, you can instantly you have the extra in case if it doesn't work, you at least have the ability to replenish, then go and get him. And as you can see here, you gain a lot of materials from doing these missions. So if you want to build the Odogaron full set armor, this is, in my perspective, this is the way to do it. It's the best way to do it. You capture him, and yeah, you get loads of materials. So yeah, this is, in my perspective, the first time I started farming Odogaron, this was the best way to do it. Of course, you feel free to do it the way you want to do it. And yeah, I just wanted to share this my experience with Odogaron, as well as the best way that I found that I was able to capture him. And yeah, I'd like to thank you for watching. Stay cool, and I'll see you later. Bye!